Hi Aditya, how are you?
Hi Karan, I'm good. How are you?
All good. How's everything?
Pretty good. Right now I'm in India, so just would be going back to Ireland next week. So yeah, planning things accordingly.
So you came for like Diwali, right? Then
Right, exactly. If so, just spending my holidays in Diwali, and that's all about it. So yeah.
great. Okay, we will start with your introduction. So could you please give your introduction?
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Aditya Sambher, and
Mm,
basically, as you also know, that so I was like doing the BCom graduation earlier, and I started my journey with the BCom graduation from Shahid Bhagat Singh College in Delhi University, and then
mm,
moved on to another Big Four via campus placement. So I have spent close to 5.5 years experience in India in assurance profile, audit profiles at the
mm-hmm,
same time simultaneously completing my ACCA and rest of the things, and then moving to Ireland just a couple of months back. Like it's been 8 months now. I moved in
mm.
back in last March to work with another Big Four. So yeah, that has been my experience like pretty much till now. So yeah, that's about it.
That's great. Like you work almost like 5 to 6 years in India, like in insurance
Yeah,
department, right?
yeah, almost 5.5 years, close to 5 years. So after campus placement, my journey started as an associate, and then I moved on to work through the hierarchy as well as completing my ACCA through the tenure. So yeah, that's about it.
Great. Like how's your experience like working in India and completing the ACCA same time?
Yeah, like sometimes it used to get a bit overwhelming, like busy during the busy season, especially when you have to
Mm,
study, बाकी चीजें भी करनी होती हैं, when you have to complete the deadlines on the engagements, complete your examinations, and put it all together. But yeah, ultimately it worked out because I was slowly and steadily progressing towards it, I would say. तो definitely an experience जो Big Four का मिलता है, definitely that helps you more align your ACCA towards that because तुम्हें practical experience भी मिल रहा है
mm-hmm,
along with theoretical things. So I think
mm-hmm,
that goes hand in hand, and it's the best way to complete ACCA as well. While
mm-hmm.
you work and you get that 3 years of experience which is required in ACC, and साथ साथ you're just getting your job done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a pretty good experience because fresh out of college, it gave me a complete different perspective in terms of how one has to groom themselves in a corporate environment, how one has to work, and
Mm-hmm.
everything around it. So yeah, काफी अच्छा था experience honestly.
It's great, yeah. Like you gain experience as well, completing ACCA with the same time. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Thank you.
So, as you recently moved to Ireland,
Hmm.
so could you give
Right.
some insights? Like, what was your thought process at that time? Like, you worked in India like almost 5 to 6 years in assurance
Yeah.
profile, and then you moved to Ireland. It's a
Right.
great thing. Like, and just want to know, like, what was the thought
Yeah.
process, how you apply, how you get the same.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The basic thought process at that time in my mind was that I have spent close to 5 years in audit. I feel pretty satisfied with the
Mm,
kind of work with I am doing, and I want to evolve it at a much bigger level. So at that time, when you get a chance, like to involve yourself in an international exposure,
mm-hmm,
and working as a senior at that point of time. So that is one of the best times I think to put yourself out there in an international domain where you can tap on a exposure at a higher level. So definitely in that terms it helped me like that was the initial thought process कि ठीक है
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
5 years spend कर लिए हैं अब बाकी जगहों पर apply कर I have to see what's the difference like between the work that I have been doing here and the work which comes up there. तो
mm-hmm,
वही था इनिशियल थॉट प्रोसेस इन माइंड देन जब एसीसी क्लोज टू कंप्लीशन थी तो डेफिनेटली आई स्टार्टेड लुकिंग फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटीज
mm-hmm,
over LinkedIn and over other platforms, over the companies, big four, like career sites and recruitment sites. So that's
mm-hmm,
how the process went. इनिशियली एक वो थॉट प्रोसेस था, देन उसको कंसिडर करते हुए मैंने बाकी जगहों पे अप्लाई किया, be it via LinkedIn, and then tap key networks because I believe that is a very important step, like how you showcase yourself, how you showcase your experience. Like बहुत लोग हैं who
Mm-hmm.
have a similar experience, who have a similar qualification and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, it comes down to how well you can present yourself to potential recruiters, to potential people, showing कि ठीक है, these skills are something which are known to you, and that's how I can confidently pick it up. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, ये वहीं
Great.
तक आ जाती हैं चीजें, right?
So like जब आप अप्लाई कर रहे थे आयरलैंड के लिए and
Yeah.
so you maybe apply in LinkedIn फिर आपका how the interview process went
Yeah,
like.
yeah. So, like, I applied on the career websites of the big four firms, as well as I was,
Mm-hmm.
like, अपनी LinkedIn profile का पूरा, I would say, like, professionally उसको ready करके, I was, अपने
Mm-hmm.
networks बनाकर, I was tapping out and reaching out to potential people who can kind of just, because just एक होती है preconceived notion कि referral works, referral कर
Mm-hmm.
दोगे तो चीजें हो जाएंगी, but it is not like that. Like, I have been through this journey,
Mm-hmm.
so I know a referral holds just a 10 to 20% advantage. Baki, you have to present yourself, you have to build your CV, you have to reach out,
Mm-hmm.
maintain a network of people in a such a manner
Mm-hmm.
कि सामने you increase your chances of getting there around. So
Mm-hmm.
similarly, LinkedIn pe, like, I started building my network quite a few months, like, before I completed my ACCA, and I've had many of the people in my contacts, and I was trying to keep an eye कि कौन सी opportunities आ रही हैं, and when can we reach it out, and उनसे बात करते करते simultaneously I was applying over the career portal as well of the big four companies, because that was in my mind at that point of time. So
So
somehow,
somebody referred you or in your
no,
Big Four?
nobody referred me. So
So
जो
you
भी
directly
मेरा,
applied to career website and then you
right,
get the
and
interview call.
I also reached out to potential people on LinkedIn, जो
Mm-hmm.
उसी ओपनिंग से रिलेटेड थे कहीं ना कहीं, मतलब उस डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेटेड थे, या फिर यू कैन से उस पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से
Manager,
रिलेटेड थे.
manager, senior manager,
हाँ, सीनियर मैनेजर, पार्टनर, और एनीबॉडी लाइक
partners.
दैट. हाँ, लाइक हायर hierarchy में. So definitely, I think if you keep on trying to reach them out, keep on trying to build a network, तो कहीं ना कहीं it aligns
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So basically, because all you need is an opportunity to showcase yourself. उसके बाद तुम अपना experience बताओगे, बाकी चीजें बताओगे, तो I think
Mm-hmm.
if you're confident enough, you have a good qualification, you have work experience, so definitely, so you will be
Mm-hmm.
reaching close to what you want. So
Yeah, in the last 2 years, I've seen like a lot of people went UK, Ireland. Uh,
right.
you know, हर हफ्ते आपको एक पोस्ट दिखता है LinkedIn पे like you went there, you went there. So
Yeah,
I recently joined. So I think after COVID as well,
yeah.
the opportunities are grown for, especially for Indians.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. The opportunities has grown post-COVID. Like, especially I would say 2021 and 2022 में बहुत ज़्यादा opportunities
hmm,
were there for
hmm,
people
hmm,
who
hmm,
were trying to reach abroad, basis part qualification as well, basis complete full qualification as well. And
hmm,
industry dynamic भी जो था काफी growth में था all across the world. Like, hiring was a lot, so
hmm,
definitely
hmm,
people were applying, and even through their own company, they were getting the relevant, I would say, opportunities for secondments and for
hmm, hmm, hmm,
rotations, be it long term, be it short term. So काफी ज़्यादा opportunities growth हुई हैं, kind of a thing. Of
hmm,
late,
hmm, hmm,
obviously, right now, a bit stagnation is there, especially across the UK markets. If I tell you,
hmm,
वहां
hmm,
पे
hmm,
थोड़ी
hmm,
स्टैग्नेशन आई है, बट ओवरऑल, लाइक, जो प्रोस्पेक्टिव लास्ट 2 इयर्स में रहा है, दैट वाज ट्रेमेंडस हायरिंग. मतलब वो वर्ल्ड वाइड ट्रेंड से अकॉर्डिंग ही रहा है. अभी जो है
hmm,
जस्ट थोड़ा
hmm,
स्लो आ गया है, बिकॉज आफ्टर
hmm,
एवरी बूम पीरियड देयर कम्स अ टाइम जो थोड़ी
hmm,
स्टैग्नेट
hmm,
हो जाती हैं चीजें. बट
hmm,
डेफिनेटली जो लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोस्पेक्टिव है वो तो ग्रो करेगा ही इन टर्म्स ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड एवरीथिंग.
hmm, hmm. Like 2023 is going to end and 24 is going to start. So, like,
या.
what do you think in Europe or UK market, how will it be for the job market?
Right. I think the first half of maybe the next year might be a bit dull for the opportunities. अभी busy season is
Hmm,
coming up and all. उसके basis पे जो growth रहेगी for those
hmm, hmm,
companies
hmm,
and everywhere. So उसके basis पे I think second half should pick up. And Europe wise अभी भी opportunities हैं. Be it
hmm,
Ireland, be it Amsterdam, or be it any other place. वहाँ पर
hmm,
अभी भी
hmm,
opportunities हो रही हैं, hiring हो रही है, especially For Ireland, it is like कि वहाँ पे openings हैं in specific fields like financial services and everything. बाकी जगहों
Mm-hmm.
पर, if you have a language advantage with you, it can
Mm-hmm.
definitely be in your favor because, like for Amsterdam, Dutch is a language requirement. For Germany, German. So definitely, language
Mm-hmm.
requirements also brings you a notch above for being favorably selected in case you are applying for those places in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, yeah, right.
So, what do you think? Like, can you go us like culture of Ireland, how things are there, going there,
Okay.
living there, everything?
Right. So if I talk about the culture of Ireland, I would say कि definitely एक difference एक पूरा holistic terms में तो होता है definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like कहीं भी, even if you go within India also you find that cultural shift if you go from Delhi to, so country wise so definitely you feel a holistic change in the aspects how people talk to you and how
Mm-hmm.
the food around you is and how the living, how
Mm-hmm.
people are living their lives. So एक holistic change पूरा
I'm
360
expecting there
degree
will
हो
be
जाता है.
lot of availability, like, Indians, many people are vegetarian, lot of
Yeah,
non-veggies as well. So
right,
over
definitely.
availability of food, what I'm expecting it's
Yeah.
most of a non-veg one because
Uh,
what I heard.
I think vegetarian भी काफी मिल जाता है, especially if you are in a place like Dublin. So
Mm-hmm.
being it capital of Ireland and every other such thing, वहाँ पर availability of things are there because a lot of Indian peoples have also come up in last few
Mm-hmm.
years. तो
Mm-hmm.
definitely जो availability of Indian groceries है, vegetarian things है, वो है मतलब. But when you
You
go
have to
out in a
cook
restaurant, yeah, exactly. That is a major life skill which you need, I think, अगर
to survive.
you want to go abroad and have a good meal at the end of the day. बिकॉज ऑप्शंस हैं, ऐसा नहीं ऑप्शंस नहीं है, बट वो केटरिंग टू योर ओन टेस्ट नहीं मिल पाते. एंड वही वंस यू
Mm-hmm.
लिव इन दिल्ली एंड अदर प्लेसेस तो डेफिनेटली वो फूड आपको उस लेवल पे मैच नहीं करेगा. तो
वो तो
डेफिनेटली
कहीं
आई,
नहीं मैच कर सकता.
राइट, सो बी इट वेज और नॉन वेज, आई थिंक अगर आप खुद कुक कर सकते हो तो दैट इज द बेस्ट थिंग. अदरवाइज मिल जाएंगे ऑप्शंस बट वो
Mm-hmm.
सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं मिलेगी इन टर्म्स ऑफ फूड.
वो तो है. So,
राइट.
like, how you feel? How's the work-life balance there? Like, it's.
Work-life balance, particularly if I talk about my organization, has been very good. I would say that is another big cultural difference I would see. Like people
Mm-hmm.
come very much on time, like everything starts up at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. when the meetings are scheduled and everything, and they
Mm-hmm.
leave by 5 on most of the days. So on 5 o'clock,
Okay.
hardly there's anybody sitting in the office beyond the official timings and everything. So they are
Mm-hmm.
very particular in terms of the timings part, but they very much maintain their own life balance also and make sure कि ठीक है इस time के बाद we don't have to work and this is how long we have to work only. So definitely even all across Europe, I would say the work-life balances are very much better
Mm-hmm.
than in Asian countries or even in
Mm-hmm.
US, even than US or other such countries.
Mm-hmm.
So
So, like, there's a hybrid culture going on. Like, if they provide work from home for US, like many Indians are there, they
yeah,
come home.
yeah.
So, how things
Right,
work as well.
exactly. Yeah, definitely. Like most of the big companies are providing that option now. Even being in Ireland, I can choose like you want to come office 1 day, 2 day, or you don't want to come to office at all. Like with my
So it's not
organization, that
mandatory.
is the practice. It is not at all mandatory. But definitely, I
Okay.
think once you are in there, initial few months you are encouraged. You have office जाकर you
Mm-hmm.
get to experience the and
सबसे
talk to the
मिलना and
people,
all.
because
Mm-hmm.
that is very important aspect and that is the time when you can actually familiarize with yourself कि उनका working style कैसा है, उनसे
Mm-hmm.
communication कैसे रखनी है and how you need to be there in the meetings and make your presence
Mm-hmm.
marked. So initial few months अगर option even जाने का हो and if your team is coming along, I think that is one thing जो definitely encash करनी चाहिए. And once you are comfortable, then you can use the flexibility to your own advantage. And when it comes to working outside of the place, like outside of Ireland also, so companies are giving you that options also. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you want to work for 15 days, up to 20 days or 30 days work from abroad, they won't have any problem if you're working from your home country and all. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
taxation part should not be an issue. so that they are
Mm-hmm.
concerned only about that aspect, but otherwise they
Okay.
generally give you an opportunity. If you are meeting the taxation legality part of it, you can work from anywhere basically in the world.
Aditya, I would like to ask a question about
Hmm.
what I like from my friends or
Yeah.
professionals that it's easy for audit professionals to go abroad because there are a lot of opportunities. They provide visa
Yeah.
sponsorships as well. So what do you
Right.
think like for other like IT
Yeah.
consulting, IT, finance professionals, like taxation professionals, other than audit
Right.
basically. So how
Right.
you feel like the opportunities for the same in Ireland or across Europe?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think there are a lot of opportunities. First, you should be having the relevant experience and the relevant qualification associated that with. Supposedly,
For
for I would
relevant,
say,
yeah, qualification,
uh,
please. Yeah.
yeah. So for like assurance professionals, I would say ACC or CPA is the relevant qualification. For if
Mm-hmm.
you are aiming for a career in internal auditing, then CIA is the one. Or if you are looking for a taxation one, then either the relevant qualification on a worldwide basis for taxation or the specific country qualification which
Mm-hmm.
they seek for taxation should be there. So, and it should be coupled along with the relevant experience as well. At least 3 years of work is required
In the
to
relevant profile.
apply for the opportunities. Yeah, because they won't hire you at an associate position, they will only hire at your senior position and
Senior
upwards
AM. Yeah.
because they would be sponsoring your work visa and everything
Mm-hmm.
because that is the norm for calling people out there. And
Mm-hmm.
especially if I talk about Ireland, in their qualification ke bina, you don't get the critical skill visas as well, which is an important
Mm-hmm.
aspect for which they give you the sponsorship. For
Yeah,
other
like the
countries in
visa.
Europe, like the Netherlands and everything, even with
Mm-hmm.
a partial qualification, you do stand a chance to go there with the relevant work experience. You can make a mark definitely because her country ka in regards of qualification criteria differ करता है.
Mm-hmm. Like
तो
what say visa requirements, like visa officers also want key, why you like for
right.
Ireland people they will say like companies say we want from India. So they will say ki why you need
Hmm.
Indians over there? Don't you have
Exactly,
like
exactly.
Ireland?
That is
So
what.
I
कि
think
कहीं ना कहीं you need to
mm,
prove yourself, and the company also needs to tell to the immigration department that person is so much skilled and have the experience, has the qualification, and we do have a
mm,
need which is not being catered by our own country. So at that time, definitely they sponsor you for visa and give you all other benefits associated to make sure you're
mm-hmm,
comfortable in the new country, be it providing the accommodation for some time, be it helping you with the allowances in the initial months or setting up your
mm-hmm,
bank account and finding a home, which is a very important aspect in Ireland because there's a
mm-hmm.
housing crisis that goes on most of the time and the demand is off the roofs.
There's
So,
crisis like same like in India,
yeah,
like in the
yeah,
metro cities.
uh,
You have
yeah.
might seen like a lot of memes going on.
Right, right, definitely. But वहाँ पर it is like कि finding a home and everything. Like you need to spare yourself a month out there, or you need to plan in advance before coming, because
Okay.
otherwise situation might be that you will be having a hard time finding a good home for yourself because the demand is so much. So many people are coming from India and other countries as well. So at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, demand always stays very high, and the rent also simultaneously keeps on coming उसी demand के basis पर. So it is always advisable to either have connect with your friends who are already living there. If nobody is living there, then gain a temporary accommodation with the help of the company and then seek
Mm-hmm.
accommodation at the earliest.
So I would like further ask of on this topic, like what do you
Yeah.
think? What am I expecting? Like if we see in India, like metro cities, like there's one
Right.
room kitchen or like one BHK, what the
Right.
one person would live into it, and
Yeah.
so what do you think? Like if one person coming or like coming with a family, uh,
Exactly.
like one BHK,
Hmm.
what the cost will be there, and what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
first from you.
like, if I talk about Dublin particularly, that is like, I would say the rental market there is as on par with London and New York, basically. So, like, it is the
Is that
capital, so the
expensive?
rents are the very highest.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Dublin will
So,
be expensive.
Yeah, so but if you are moving somewhere else in Ireland, like Cork or Galway or any Limerick,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a chance of securing a accommodation at cheaper rates. So it comes down to
बहुत से लोग
that thing.
travel भी करते हैं, like from other
Huh.
parts of the city to Dublin
Huh,
to.
right. A lot of people, when they want to settle with their families in the longer run, they choose a place
Mm-hmm.
like Cork, Limerick, or Galway because commuting is easy. It's a 2.5 hour drive, and with the hybrid model kicking in, it is very easy for them to work from another location as
Mm-hmm.
well. And all those
Mm-hmm.
companies have their presence of offices in other places of Ireland as well. So definitely,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to spend less amount on the rentals and basic expenses and do more
Mm-hmm.
savings, and you are with your family, then it is definitely recommended कि you stay a bit far from
Away
Dublin, and
from
then
Dublin.
yeah, and get a good place and peaceful environment around you. Whereas
That's good.
when it comes to Dublin, so the rental market, especially for 1 BHK, is around 2,000 2,000 euros basically, I would say.
For a year.
So 2,000 euros that would come for a monthly basis.
Oh, okay.
So,
Sorry.
so definitely, yeah. So it's 2,000 euros per month. And the ultimate thing is, I think it's much better to get a 2 BHK accommodation if
Mm.
you are
Yeah,
living
with
like,
sharing with people's,
yeah,
yeah,
sharing with people, because it will be
friends.
just an upfront more cost of 200 euros. So for 2,200 to 2,500 euros, you can get a decent 2 BHK apartment. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely it's much better when the cost is split in two people, so or other two different people, so your cost and your
Mm-hmm.
budget substantially gets reduced. Whereas affording
Mm-hmm.
a 1 BHK would be a neck to neck situation in terms of the finances,
Yeah, that will be
because
expensive. Yeah.
yeah, because a major
Yeah.
portion of your salary will go in rent only in that case. So
Mm-hmm.
generally students यही करते हैं, like either they share 1 BHK also if friends होते हैं तो,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise 1 BHK अपने लिए रख लिया, 2 BHK लेकर 1 BHK में खुद सिंगल रह रहे हैं, and then somebody else is staying in the other bedroom. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that makes much more financial sense compared to taking a 1
Yeah.
BHK. Even for couples, I would say that makes more sense because at least you are having lots of space, two
Mm-hmm.
rooms, and
2
for
BHK.
just a couple of hundred euros more. तो वो काफी ज्यादा वाइबल चीज रहती है definitely.
Like in mo many countries, the visa
Right.
policies are like, ki, suppose one
Hmm.
person is getting a job. I'm talking about a couple.
Right.
Like one
Yeah.
person
Right.
is getting a job, but the other one doesn't have a visa. They can work there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
how like things work in Ireland for the same? Like both
Same.
people can work.
Right, Ireland में spouse visa is a sponsorship. If you are coming along with your spouse, definitely spouse visa is there, which gives you the right to work. If you
That's
have the
great.
relevant experience or relevant qualification, definitely qualification के basis पे तो definitely you can, anybody can secure like a good
Mm,
job if उस domain में हो. But even if you have relevant experience and don't have the qualification, along with spouse visa, you can land up in a good job because then the visa sponsorship won't be required by the employers. So,
mm-hmm.
जो opportunities हैं for a dependent visa, that is also very much there.
That's very great.
Definitely, right.
Yeah, like both people can work there, so do
Yeah,
not have to.
definitely. Yeah, and then overall financially, it is also when both people are working, then the rentals and other things and other expenses
Mm,
are taken very well care of. So
that can be
definitely,
managed.
yeah, as a couple, if one goes and both people are working, so definitely one has a very good potential of earning a good amount,
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like the taxation in like
Hmm.
Ireland is like 30%, I guess, for
Right,
50K euros.
that comes in different slabs, similar to a
Mm-hmm.
taxation structure in UK. It is as you go higher and higher, the tax rate
Yeah, yeah,
increases.
definitely.
But on an average, if I talk about a senior working in Ireland, so yeah, it will be close to 30%, around 28 to 27%. And as you move across the ladder higher and higher at a manager position, when you earn a more salary, so the tax slab will simultaneously increase. So
So
yeah,
like up to 50,000 is like 30%. After this 40.
right,
Like,
right. After that, it's 40, and up to 50,000. I would say up to 41,000, 43 to 45,000 is 20, and then it moves to 30, and then to 40. So
Okay.
if somebody is earning say across 50,000 euros, so a
Mm-hmm.
taxation rate of roughly around 25 to 30% would be applicable in that bracket, taking both the slabs in account.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it works.
I would like, I'm expecting that those are in senior level and they have
Yeah,
a, as you said, like 3 years of experience required.
yeah.
So I'm expecting they can get around like 50k euros
Yeah,
if they have a
roughly. That
qualification
is
as
the
well.
package, especially for assurance. I would say that is the norm around 50 to 55,000 euros. One will
Mm-hmm.
be able to secure if one has a relevant qualification as well as experience. For consulting, obviously it varies. It goes to a
Yeah.
more higher amount, and the organization which you are working and the role which you are working with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it does get a bit of subjective there, I would say, but generally, if I talk about for assurance specific, so roughly 50 to 55,000 euros one can expect when one starts off. And
And
I think
manager,
the
I'm expecting that they can get up to 100,000 pounds, oh, sorry,
uh,
euros.
up to I would say they would be getting close to 75,000 to 80,000
75 to 80.
in,
Okay.
yeah, when it comes to again assurance specific, yeah. So
Okay.
that is a
And
decent
depend on
amount
the profile. Yeah.
to have a comfortable living in Ireland, say have some savings as well and all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because the rental is the major portion of expense that one
Mm-hmm.
incurs, and that comes around 1,200 to 1,500 euros if I
Mm-hmm.
talk about the basic part. So once that part is taken care of, rest all you can still manage as per your own wishes and how do you wish to save.
Like,
So.
what do you think the right position to go in, like when you're planning to abroad, like AM manager or senior as well?
Yeah, I think either it would be senior or it would be manager level. So if you have, I
Mm-hmm.
would say, close to 6 to 8 years of experience, and then you have the qualification as well, then it
Mm-hmm.
makes much more sense to try for the manager position. But if you have three
Mm-hmm.
years of experience and definitely you have a qualification with you, at that time I think one should try for senior role because after going there, you might be able to, if your performance is good, you might be able to secure a good promotion to manager level much earlier than those 6 to 8 years of experience which is required.
Mm-hmm. So do you
So
think like those who are on senior level and they have
yeah,
around like 50k euros, so they will
yeah,
be able to manage something, like save something?
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would say not a very substantial amount if they're living by themselves, but
Yeah.
yeah, at least they'll be able to secure some decent amount, definitely.
Yeah, what I think like what make more sense like when you're going for AM or manager position because you have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
corpus.
definitely. Yeah, that is definitely a very comfortable situation to be in. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have that close to 5 to 7, again, as I said, close to 6 years of
Yeah,
experience, and you
experience.
have the qualification, but it depends on which domain are you trying to tap. Basically, if you are trying to
Okay.
tap a domain a bit different from your field, it won't be very easy to
Mm-hmm.
secure that manager position abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you are
Yeah.
willing to try something new in a domain, you have the relevant related experience, and if not the exact experience as well, you will be able
Mm-hmm.
to secure a senior position much easily. And when you go into a senior position, I would say the accountability is lower than that of a manager. So you get those that time to get that international exposure, learn
Yeah,
things
to settle
about the
on.
working style. Whereas when you go in a manager position, the expectation level is much higher. And so, and probation period is something which you have to clear in 6 months. So definitely that is evaluated very strictly over there.
Okay, it's yeah,
Right.
they're sponsoring a lot, so they will expect
Yeah, yeah, that they would
we
be
hire the right
expecting
person.
that you prove yourself in terms of the experience you have and the work you are doing because after 6 months they confirm your probation and that is
Mm-hmm.
subject to, I would say, strictly performance checks and everything. So first
Mm-hmm.
6 months especially, while they do understand and appreciate the fact that you're learning things and you're getting to know
Mm-hmm.
things, but at the same time they expect at least a basic level. There shouldn't be any significant performance issues or such issues because otherwise they can really, evaluate and put you on PIP or stuff and everything. So probation is something which
Mm-hmm.
should not be taken lightly anywhere abroad.
Mm-hmm. Not in India as well, right?
Yeah,
Anything can
yeah,
happen.
yeah, true, that's true.
Like now we'll come to qualification part. Like
Yeah.
as you can see, like in India, we have professionals like if I talk about the finance
Hmm.
one, like
Right.
CA, ACCA, CPA, MBA.
Right.
So
Right.
I hope this same for everyone, like when they are planning to like Ireland.
Yeah, like majorly it will be the same. The qualification aspects will be the same, and all
Hmm.
these are, especially if I talk about ACCA, CA, and CPA, all these
Hmm.
qualifications have relevant recognition at a global level as well.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So definitely you get opportunities basis that, and you get an option to apply for the jobs directly without proving much to your qualification. When it comes to MBA, it is definitely more subjective because sometimes it
Hmm.
do
Yeah.
happens that the MBA which you're doing from a reputed institute in India doesn't hold
Hmm.
much
Hmm.
relevance when it comes to the abroad part of it. Supposedly,
Hmm.
even if you're doing MBA from IIM, in India it
Hmm.
is very well recognized, but when
Hmm.
you go abroad, it won't have that much of relevance because they might not be very knowing that what significance does IIM hold or something
Okay.
any reputed B school in India holds. So definitely for MBA professionals, I would only recommend either if they are going from the same company and taking the opportunity, supposedly like any big four,
Hmm.
they are working at a big four in India and the same company gives them an opportunity to work abroad, definitely they can take up. But if they are planning to do something and starting off a new career journey abroad, so for I would recommend them to do MBA first from the B schools in abroad itself, and then via
Yeah.
placement come into the career route of it.
Many people also choose like when they're applying in the
Hmm.
portal, in the
Right.
careers websites and in the LinkedIn, if they're not getting the
Hmm.
same as well, then they
Yeah.
choose a educational option. Like they do MBA from B schools of the abroad where they want to, and
Right.
so
That's what makes more sense if you are planning to settle yourself in a journey abroad itself, or you just don't want
mm,
years, only limited years of experience, rather continuously you want to work. So definitely I would say that is a thing to take forward because वहाँ पे it happens that definitely if there's a recognition for your degree, so you can get a
mm,
longer range journey even when it comes to switching companies and everything. But if you have an MBA in India, so that might not hold that much relevance, and you might have to struggle while looking for opportunities and everything. Obviously, work experience goes a long run when it comes to your career journey, but other things are equally important as well.
okay. Like I will like ask specific things now for Dublin or
Hmm.
Ireland. Like what
Right.
benefits you feel you have in Ireland, you
In
receive.
right. In Ireland, if I talk about the benefits in terms of the opportunities, definitely one big advantage as compared to other European countries, or I would say UK,
Hmm.
is that you get a partial PR. I would say generally people say you get a PR in 2 years, but it's not a full-fledged PR. So
Okay.
what you get basically in 2 years is a stamp for visa. That gives you
Hmm.
an opportunity to work with any of the companies without the employer sponsoring you
Hmm.
initially, like a certificate of sponsorship or a work permit. Either case, once you land up in Ireland, has to be granted by the organization you are working with. But once you have 2 years of experience in Ireland, you are staying in Ireland for 2 years. After
Hmm.
that, you have access to all the opportunities that are coming up there, irrespective of the qualification. And you can even open up a business if you wish to after 2 years. So the government gives you that, I would say, right to work in such a way that you can open your business, you can work with any
Hmm.
of the employers, and then you don't need to be bounded by any contract or any sponsorship by the employer. So that definitely
Hmm.
comes up as a major benefit when working in Ireland as compared to other European countries or UK
Hmm.
itself.
Yeah,
So
2 years is a very short period, I can say, in
yeah,
terms of
exactly.
PR. Like
That is
many
what.
countries require 5 years, 10 years,
Right.
then they provide visa, permanent
Exactly,
residency, basically.
because not every company is in a space to sponsor you always for the visa
Hmm.
and all, because there are a
Correct.
lot of formalities which are involved. Big
Hmm.
Fours do that, and once you like get a relevant experience, so even if you wish to switch from a Big Four to any other company which you feel is
Hmm.
more relevant to your industry, you can easily do that. You have an access to host of opportunities in Ireland.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
And
that
what
is
I
one good advantage.
what I heard as well from
Yeah,
like the peoples we work with. So
yeah,
like people grow very quickly over there, like from senior to AM or AM to
yeah,
manager. Like if
right.
you see like from if somebody is joining as a beginner level as like for
Yeah,
associate they become senior. So like
yeah,
in India if you see like uh if someone is joining an associate level, so they need
yeah,
3 years, then they become senior.
right,
Like
right.
after three
Yeah.
years they become fast track.
Hmm.
After three
True.
years, fast track they will become manager. So it's the same how work
Yeah,
there.
the hierarchy is, I would say, obviously it varies with every organization
Yeah, yeah,
involved and every other
definitely.
big four, but definitely I feel for most of the big fours, they have a much quicker hierarchy to progressing.
Mm,
Like you told
mm,
me that there are 3 years in an organization here in India, so supposedly there will be
mm,
just 2 years of uh like associate level somewhere
mm,
in
mm,
either Europe or Ireland. So definitely
mm.
progressing yourself is much quicker when you make a mark, when you showcase your performance, when you have the qualification. As well, it can be even more faster with the media promotions or every such other thing coming in. So
Is there media
definitely,
promotions as well?
that again depends on a
Depend on
global
the
level.
company to
I think,
company,
yeah, on a
how things are
company
going on.
level and how things are going globally, industry wise. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely, they do offer that in case the business is doing tremendously well, and if you are at your showing peak performance and showcasing the best of your contribution to the work that you are doing. So definitely, they can consider you for that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Like it's quickly to grow and
Yeah,
everything is
it's
great though.
quickly to grow, definitely, because even I would say the competition would be less than what it is in India sometimes
Yeah.
because the quantum of people are less. So definitely that opportunity gets a bit better for anybody trying to secure that.
So you recently moved to Ireland, so have you
Yeah,
traveled the Europe and all?
uh, not much in Europe. I have traveled many places in UK, I would say.
Okay.
So yeah, like I have traveled to London, Edinburgh, and even Bristol for that is much. And in Europe, I have not traveled much, but I'm planning to do that in the next year now. So now, because
The
for
good
Ireland, the
part
visa
is
is
like,
different
yeah,
from Schengen visa.
yeah, yeah.
So
So you can
one
get
you
as
have
a tourist for Shanghai visa.
yeah, you have to apply for a tourist Schengen visa, and once you get a hold of that, then you can definitely travel as much as you want. So that's how it works.
I think the fascinating part of moving to any,
Right.
nearby to Europe, like
Yeah.
UK or Ireland or even in Europe,
Yeah.
like the cities are, the countries are nearby like 2 hours. It's like
Right.
cities
Yeah,
in India.
just an hour away, just an hour away. And if you plan a bit in advance, you get the flights at very reasonable price. That is a big advantage. So like for just 2000 rupees, you can travel anywhere in Europe basically if you plan well in
Okay.
advance, which is I believe a really good competitive thing. If you're talking euros, it is just 20 to 50, 30 euros basically. So that gives you an opportunity to travel via flights with either low cost carriers, obviously. So
Hmm.
that is a fascinating part that if you want to travel anywhere in Europe or even in UK, you can travel at a very economical price and as
Yeah,
per your budget easily.
that's great. Like those who have dreams, visit
Yeah,
Europe and travel
right.
a lot. So,
Exactly. And I think when you plan a trip from India, it will definitely be a much higher
yeah,
financial cost because the flights will be very
flight
expensive and
costing, yeah.
all other things will take it all. But if you're working there, so it is very easy to plan on a weekend getaway kind of a thing. Most of the people do
Mm,
that. Like they go on Saturday and they come back Monday morning. So in 2 days they
mm,
cover one place because there are
mm.
many countries, but 2 days are enough for most of the countries to just travel and explore and have a touristy feel of it. That's I would say.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay, I think we have covered everything. And
yeah,
any advice you want to share, like those who want to move to abroad or any
yeah.
other things you want to share?
The advice that I would like to share is definitely there should not be a thing like you're just going abroad for the sake of just going there. Uh, have the relevant experience and then just look for the right opportunities. and then
Mm-hmm.
transform your career meaningfully into that opportunity, because definitely it can give you a good growth, but it needs to be a well planned decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like it should not be at a way in a way that one is just going at any designation irrespective of it, just because they want to be there, kind of a thing. I think it needs to be a sensible decision, that how is it going to benefit them holistically in terms of their career, in terms of the
Mm-hmm.
financial sense and everything. So definitely
Mm-hmm.
once you build on the basic things like your profile, your CV, and your experience,
Mm-hmm.
and just focus yourself on the opportunities which should be
Mm-hmm.
targeted. So I think then it can be a great platform for one to ace that thing up.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Thank you, Aditya.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for your
Karan, for
time.
having me over here. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
good
it's
interaction with you, definitely.
yeah, same. Like it's a pleasure to host you,
Yeah,
and it's awesome, man.
yeah.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you so much. Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.